You're listening to the Afro Chi Podcast, a show for my fellow Black female energy healers and the everyday woman who wants to heal her energy in a creative and holistic way. You'll hear from Black female healers who share their knowledge, gifts, and experiences and enlighten you on how to tap into your powerful Black energy to get the results you need to live an energetically free life. If you're ready to become unstuck, find freedom and peace energetically, stay tuned. I'm your host, Kiera Flipping. Hey guys, welcome to Season 3, Episode 3 of the Afro Chi Podcast. I'm your host, Kiera Flipping, and if you have been following Season 3 of the podcast, then you know that I am focusing on the Reiki principles. So if you're just catching here on Episode 3, I do advise you to actually go to Episode 0, the very intro of Season 3, so you can see or listen to rather what I'm going to be covering in Season 3, and then make your way to Episode 1, Episode 2, and then come back here to Episode 3. So on today's episode, I'm going to be covering the third Reiki principle, which is just for today, I will do my work honestly. And honestly, out of all of the Reiki principles, there are 5. Out of all of them, this principle really hits home for me. Doing your work honestly. So when we think of honesty, we think of, I don't steal from my job. I don't steal no ink pens. I don't steal no paper. Like, I do my work honestly. I don't steal no time off the clock, right? I go to work and I do my work honestly. But the way that I interpret this principle and the reason why it hits me so hard and it sticks to me is because it talks about having a talent and a gift that you were blessed with and not operating within your talents and within your gifts. Not only are you not being honest with yourself, but you are also stealing from other people. So I'm going to break that down and I'm going to say that again. If you have a talent or a gift and you are deciding, making a choice not to utilize or not to operate in your talents and your gifts, not only are you being dishonest with yourself, but you are also stealing from other people. So, Kiera, what do you mean? What do you mean by that? So if God, whomever you believe in as a higher power, the universe, has instilled in you a gift, a talent, that gift and talent is meant to bless somebody else. It's meant to serve somebody else. It's meant to empower someone else. So when you are dishonest in your work, right, your purpose, so to speak, on this earth, your work, when you are being dishonest in your work, you are stealing from other people. And that's why this principle, out of all of the 5 principles, hits me so hard, because for a very long time, I myself was being very dishonest, and I myself was stealing from so many people. So let me just give you a backstory a little bit. If you're not familiar with my journey as a healer, I had been a healer for a very long time. I always knew something was unique about me, something was different about me. I couldn't put the words to it, but I knew something about me was different, right? And when I did some deep work, I was able to identify what that was, and it was that I was a healer. And for a long time, y'all, I was really scared to, I guess, be authentic, honestly. Like, I was scared to be myself. I was scared, will people judge me? What would people think? Especially when I started to get into Reiki, I'm like, oh my gosh, my friends and family are going to think like I'm in witchcraft. My family has a very strong Christian background. So, oh my God, they're going to condemn me. Like, let me just not even talk about what I'm doing. Let me not even bask in my gifts and talents as a healer. So for a very long time, I hid that part of me. There were maybe a selected few that knew what my gifts were, especially my intuitive gifts. I hid that for a very long time. And again, it was fear-based. So because I was not doing my work honestly, I was stealing. Being an intuitive person, being a healer, that's a gift. Like that is a talent. And I truly believe that I was blessed to be a healer. I was blessed to be an intuitive person in order to serve others. So when I was not doing my work honestly, there were a lot of people that were missing out on my talents, on my skills, and my abilities, right? So when we are given these talents, skills, and abilities, they're really not to benefit ourselves. They're for us to serve others. So when we aren't walking in our purpose, we aren't exuding in our talents, there are people that are missing out. There are people that are hurting. There are people that are looking for us, right? So I'm curious to know if that hits you at all. If you are currently hiding from yourself, if you are currently not being true and authentic to your work, right? Whether it's based out of fear, based out of judgment, and it might even be based out of self-judgment, right? You might be judging yourself. So that was my example as a healer, as an intuitive person. But your talents and your gifts are what your talents and your gifts are, right? So maybe you're an awesome writer, right? Maybe you're extremely well at organizing or whatever. Maybe you have some athletic talents and abilities. Maybe you have the ability to coach and train others. Whatever your talents are, your gifts and your abilities, if you are not functioning and walking in them, again, remember, you are being dishonest to yourself and you are stealing from others. Just take a moment right now and just think about all of the people in your life that have blessed you with their talents, with their gifts and their abilities, right? And now think about how would your life be right now if they were not doing their work honestly? You would have missed out, right? You would have missed out. Hey guys, aren't you just loving soaking up these Reiki principles? Wouldn't you want to learn more ways to heal and balance your energy? Be sure to follow me on Instagram at Kierrah, KIERRAH, flipping, F as in Frank, LIPPING, to learn all of the ways to manifest, heal your energy, and draw in all of the abundance that life has for you. I'll also be sharing more information about my next upcoming Reiki training. Okay, now back to this juicy Reiki principle. So, I also want you to think about how you can begin to show up authentically, how you can begin to do your work authentically. So, I know for me, being a licensed clinical professional counselor, but also being an energy healer, when I got started in the counseling realm, there was no space to integrate yoga. There was no space to integrate Reiki. There was no space to integrate sound healing, right? All of the things that I embody and I encompass into my mental health private practice core empowerment and also with my private clients, there was no space for that. right? So I had to create my own table because there was no table for that. I felt like I was not fully walking in my purpose. I knew that my work was to provide mental health counseling, right? Mental health services. But I knew there was more that I could provide and more that I could serve to my clients than traditional talk therapy, right? So, me walking in my work honestly meant for me to create my own table. It meant for me to create my own space where I could do my work honestly. And maybe that is the same for you. Maybe you are currently in a line of work that does serve your purpose, that does feel good, that is honest, that is serving, but maybe you're being held back to some capacity, right? Maybe you're being held back and now you're being called forward to maybe step out. Now, I'm not telling nobody to quit their job like I did and start your own business. That's not what this is about. But maybe there is a deeper purpose for you outside of your work, right? To take it to a deeper level that is truly in alignment with who you are. And I think that is another key point to pull out of this is alignment. How many of us are doing work that is not in true alignment with who we are or who we want to become? Right? So, something to think about. Doing your work honestly. I know sometimes when people hear that principle again, they think like, yeah, I do my work honestly. I clock in, I clock out. I don't steal no time. I don't steal no supplies from the office. But it's deeper than that. It's truly deeper than that. Are you doing your work honestly? Or are you stealing from other people by not truly walking and serving through your gifts, your talents, and your abilities? So, I like to leave you guys with some Reiki hand positions to accompany this Reiki principle. So, just for today, I will do my work honestly. And before I go into the hand positions and the breathing exercise, I want to invite you guys to write down these principles and keep them somewhere where you can see them and read them every day, every morning as a reminder that just for today, not yesterday, not tomorrow, but just for today, I will do my work honestly. Whatever that work is for you, right? And if you have been enjoying these principles and they've really been hitting, certain points in your life and just have you thinking, I invite you to attend my next Reiki training. I invite you to attend so that you can learn Reiki for yourself. This is just a glimpse of what Reiki has to offer. These are just the principles. All right. So if you are in a position right now where you can engage in a breathing exercise, I invite you to find a comfortable seated position. And if you feel safe and comfortable enough, if you're able to close your eyes, I invite you to place one hand on your third eye chakra. And if you're following me on Instagram live right now, you'll be able to actually see me and follow through. If you are listening to this recording on a podcast streaming site, head over to Instagram at Kiera Flipping and check out my IGTV series, and you are able to actually see me recording the behind the scenes of this podcast and visually follow along as well. So placing one eye on your third eye chakra, which is right in between your eyebrows. Placing your other hand on your solar plexus. which is right above your navel, right above your belly button, right underneath the breastbone. And again, if you are in a comfortable and safe position, I invite you to close your eyes or take a soft gaze. And following the natural flow of your breath, inhale through the nose and exhale. Inhale through the nose. And on the exhale, deciding if it feels best for you to exhale through the nose or release through the mouth. One more, inhale through your nose and exhale. And remembering that just for today, I will do my work honestly. I leave you guys with those Reiki hand positions to really tap into and to utilize as you feel necessary. So if you feel like you're in a position where you really want to connect to yourself authentically, you really want to connect to your purpose, you really want to connect to your work, I invite you to engage in those Reiki hand positions along with the breathing. All right. So thank you guys for listening. Again, make sure you follow me and stay up to date on my next Reiki training. Thanks for joining us this week on the Afro Chi podcast. Be sure to visit our website at afroqi.com and on all social media platforms at The Afro QI. Subscribe to this podcast now so you never miss a show.